I'm a spreadsheet nerd. Hi there, welcome back. Today, I'm gonna go back and look at some things that I've shown you in the past, and then let's do what sold. Let's see how much this stuff sold for. In January, I had a challenge to clear the rack. I'll show a picture of what my clothing rack looked like, and I challenged myself to list everything on that rack. It turned out I had 49 items, and I wanted you guys to guess how much you thought the retail value, the resale value of those items were. So when I calculated the high listing price that I put them up on eBay for, my 49 items came out to be $1,463. I just kind of wanted to show how much money we have sitting in our money piles, right? In our racks, in our places that things are not listed. Now, in reality, I'm not going to get $1,463 from this rack. So if I sold every single item at half price, I would get $731.50. I don't sell things quite at half price, but I do 40% sometimes, and I take offers often at 50, but at least up to 30 or 40. So today I wanted to kind of do an update on where am I at on these 49 items. So give me a minute. I'm looking at my spreadsheet and my eBay solds, and so I'll kind of, edit this all together and kind of show you where I'm at and tell you the grand total at the end of what I've made so far. For these 49 items that I listed here, I did put their purchase price. I went back and looked them up and I put their purchase price in. Few of these things were personal purchases. I think I've covered a couple of them on a past video. Like I bought a cardigan, a Hufflepuff cardigan at Hot Topic, kept it for about a year and decided I didn't really like it and I sold it. But I put in like the $50 purchase price. I bought a shirt a long time ago at Disney with my pass holder discount. I paid around $30, so I've got it listed. So I am putting the actual purchase price of things in here, even if it was a personal item. If it was new with tags, then I put it in as a personal item. If I have already worn it, then I put it in as a zero cost for a personal item. Make sense? Okay. So my total cost on all of these items, and I purchased these from thrift stores, from yard sales, from online auctions like Whatnot, from online YouTube auctions like from Donatello Bottolino, and I think a couple of these, I don't think I bought any of these on eBay. I think maybe I might have bought one top, a personal item top on eBay a long time ago. My total cost for all of these 49 items that I ended up listing was $320.99. So that's what I hope to get back in my pocket at least, is the $320.99. I sold these Howler Brothers t-shirts. There were two of them and I bundled them together. Howler Brothers is an Austin area brand and it's kind of popular and people like them around here. I did notice that one of them had a very small hole, but I bundled these two extra large t-shirts together. They sold for $32 and my money back in my pocket. So that's what I'm going to tell you is how much money came back in my pocket. I'm not going to tell you the profit. I'm just going to tell you how much money came back to me. So I'll start with this first one. I sold this item for $32. My profit was $15.51. But I also got their purchase price back. And I did buy each of these shirts for around the $6 mark at the Goodwill. Purchase price was $12.54 for these two shirts. The money back in my pocket was $28.05. So from here on out, I'm just going to say the money back, or I don't know. I'm just going to say the money back so you can get it. Because at the very end, I'm going to tell you the total of money that has come back into my pocket. So see if I at least made my $320 and how much above $320 that I made. The next thing I sold on the list was this English laundry shirt. I bought this from Rachel Strickland on her Whatnot. Actually, I think it was one of Dello's first Whatnot. She was kind of teaching him how to do Whatnot. I sold it for $32 and the money back in my account was $26.39. The next thing was a Van Heusen Never Tuck shirt, kind of like taking off of the Untuck It brand. So this was just a men's 2XL. I love to buy men's 2XL and above button front shirts or just nicer shirts, polos and everything. They almost always sell. I've got a handful still sitting. I even just picked up a few at the yard sales a couple weekends ago. Unique, interesting men's 2XL shirts. They're almost always a good buy because guys are looking for them and they don't like to go shopping. So they just buy what they know. I sold this for $10 and I make a tiny bit of money on my shipping sometimes. So the money back in my pocket was $10.33 even after eBay fees. The next thing I sold is this Dixon shirt. I think I've talked about it before. It's not a flannel, but it's still a Dixon workforce shirt. I sold this for $35 and I earned back $29.91. This is a Disney Golf. It has a Mickey embroidered little emblem on the pocket, and it's a total dad golf polo, right? So it was an XXL. I just thought this is a good find. So I sold it for $16.50 and I've got $13.55 back from that. I also sold a polo Ralph Lauren, just an Oxford shirt, just a button-down Oxford shirt. It was a maroon color. I think I found this at the Goodwill bins. I sold it for $18.80 and I got $14 after fees back in my account. I sold another polo. It was a mock zip sweater. It was not really a sweatshirt, not really a sweater. It was kind of that really in between. It was a brown mock neck quarter zip pullover in an XXL. I truly like to find XL and above, and XXL is my favorite. The secret is my boys wear XXL, my husband and my son. So I always think that if I can't sell it, one of them will wear it. A lot of times I buy it for them and then they say, no, we don't like that. So that's why I end up selling it. So this pullover I sold for $10. I only got it for $1.69, FYI. So that must have been a bins find as well. So I got $8.15 back in my pocket. Next, I sold this Torrid blazer. You know how sometimes you find things and you know they're good, but they're not selling. They're not selling and you just don't know why. And you just know they're good, but just keep them because you know what? Listen to your gut. This Torrid blazer I sold for $36 and I got $30.86 back in my pocket. I sold the Hufflepuff cardigan that I've already talked about, right? It was mine. I bought it at Hot Topic. I think I probably had hot cash. I don't know. I put that it was $50 for me to buy it. It's now been retired and it's an extra large, which is another good size. So I listed it high and I just let it sit there and it sold on Mercari for $75. So my money back was $69.82. Even if I did spend closer to $60 or $70 on this item, I got my money back. I sold a personal Hufflepuff t-shirt of my own that I bought at the parks and I wore it. Well, no, I bought it at Hot Topic and I wore it a few times. This was a shirt that it just didn't look great on me. So I sold it for $8 and I got $5.74 after eBay fees back in my pocket. But I wore it several times at the parks. Next, I sold my son's Lion King button up. I bought it for him, I think at Hot Topic, and it was a cute little Lion King button-up shirt. It was used. He'd worn it, and I sold it for $21. And I have that $15.08 went back in my pocket. I sold a Chico's Zenergy top. I found this at probably Salvation Army, looking at the buy cost on that, $4.21. Might have been a half off at Goodwill. Sold it for $16 and $14.51 came back to me. I sold this denim farm button up. Oh no, this isn't the denim one. This is the one that looks kind of like a feed sack. So it's a button up shirt that has just like chickens and cows and sheep and it says farm print. You'll see it. And I bought it at an estate sale. I bought several things kind of like this at that estate sale. I think I sold this one on DePop. Did I sell this one on DePop? Give me one sec. I'm a spreadsheet nerd. I really am. I sold this one on DePop. Okay, I did sell this one on DePop. I don't sell a lot over there, but I sell this farm button-up shirt on DePop. I do free shipping over there. So it sold for $23 and I got $15.50 back in my pocket. I sold my son's North Face jacket. My husband had bought these on clearance. He had several of them. They took them on their Philmont camping trip. There were some weird black smudges, probably from like backpack transfer because it rained, and it had these black smudges on it. And I just listed it and I sold it for $15. So we got $13 back in our pocket after my son got to use this North Face rain jacket on his Philmont Scout hiking trip. This was something that I don't even know why I bought it, but it looked unique to me, but it was really difficult to describe and explain. It was a big brown plaid shift dress. And to me, it just kind of looked boho, cottage core, fairy core. It could even have been for maybe medieval, you know, layering underneath something. And it had a weird, almost login look to it because it had a hem at the bottom that was like crisscross. I listed it finally, and it got interest. It didn't sell for a lot. I think I only listed it for $18, and I took an offer of $11.68 back in my pocket. So I don't know how I made more than what I sold it for. It must have been a shipping. Maybe I charged up for shipping. Sometimes I will refund my buyer if I've overcharged them for shipping. Other times, if I've taken a super low offer from them anyways, and it turns out that I was off on shipping and I make $1 or $2 on their shipping, I don't typically refund them. If it's a huge amount, like I shipped some lawn chairs to a guy that lived close by, and it quoted out as like 40 some dollars. It only cost $22 to ship these lawn chairs. I must have just overestimated on my dimensions. So I gave him some money back because he clearly overpaid by $18 or so on the lawn chairs. I sold this Crown Ivy pink top. I found this at Value Village last year at FlipCon, and I picked up 3 different Crown Ivy things. I didn't know the brand at the time. They looked very Lily Pulitzer to me, or very Southern, very preppy. Turns out it's kind of like a Beal's store brand, I think, that they just have there that is meant to kind of look like a lot of the boutique or Lily Pulitzer brands. They're not worth a lot, but I did sell this blouse for $14. So that's $13.26 back in my pocket. I found this Tahari blazer at the Goodwill bins, and it just screamed Y2K to me in 90s, but it took me obviously forever to list. So it sat there on this rack and I just wasn't sure about it. And I know Tahari's it's an okay brand. And this style was very legally blonde to me. It was very, you know, clueless. It had the bow and it came in tight here at the waist. So I sold it for $17 and I made $14.93 back. I sold this dress. I talked about this on one of my other What Solds. Fresh Produce. It is a very thick cotton and it has a stamped design on it, and there are butterflies all over it. And I've sold a couple other Fresh Produce. I sold this dress on Poshmark for $63. I had it listed for $80 and I took an offer. So that's after the Poshmark fees, $50.40 back in my pocket. This was a yard sale find where I just grabbed a bunch of clothes and they were all $1 each. Maybe $2, I don't remember. And I just thought it was cute. It didn't sell for much. It's a Ralph Lauren plaid blouse. And I sold it for $12. Made $10.08. This was a racing jacket that I found at an estate sale, and I just thought it was cool. It was the satin-like, you know, shell, and it had racing stripes and a patch on it, and the tag was definitely older. I kind of just didn't know what to ask for. There really wasn't anything like it. So I listed it for $40. And I sold it for $32 with free shipping on DePop. And so I made $24.76 on this jacket. I bought this Donkey Kong tee last fall at the bins for Courtney's Bins Bingo Challenge. So I bought it, you know, $1.50 from the bins. I mean, even less than that. I average my cost of goods for the bins usually. And lightweight items are usually technically less than that. But my average cost of goods that day was $1.74 per item. So I sold this Donkey Kong shirt for my full asking price of $12. So I got $9.40 in my pocket. I bought this Eileen Fisher dress from Donatella Bottolino on her YouTube auction. I bought it for $18 and it turned out it did have a stain on it. I sold it for $24 and I got $19.02 back in my pocket. So just barely over what I paid. And I bought myself this Torrid Dogs tank top, and it was so much bigger than I thought it was going to be. And I don't typically wear tank tops except, you know, in my backyard in the summer. And I put it on and it was a lot bigger than what I thought. So I listed it. I can't remember what I paid for it. I want to say it was anywhere from $16 to $20 with toward cash and coupons. I sold it for $24. So I have that I put $25 back in my pocket after shipping and fees. One last sale that I forgot is this Talbot suit. I paid $18 for it on a YouTube auction from Donatella Bottolino. I sold it for $50 and $45 came back to me. Those are the 24 items out of the 49 that have sold. And that's pretty good for clothing in a 2-month time period, I believe. Now, 3 of those 49 items, I've just gone ahead and put them down as losses because when I was taking the pictures, I saw that they had damage. There was a broken button on one. One had it was corduroy pants and they were really worn thin in the crotch. And then another shirt just had a nylon pull and it just wasn't worth it to me. So I have 3 damaged items. Their total costs are $10 for the 3. So that's not that bad at all. So I have sold about half of the 49 items that I listed. Now remember, all of these items cost me a total of $320.99. Back in my account after listing is $519.67. So if you have a money pile, list it. I have not quite double, but I'm working my way to double with about half of it sold. So, we all make mistakes when we purchase things, and some of these things on this list are mistakes. But I just want to show that if you have a stack of stuff that you're not wanting to list, try not to think so much about, oh, I spent so much money on that, or I wasted whatever. Just get it listed and get that money back. And I have now changed how I do my accounting. I used to do very detailed accounting with costs per item, and then I would put what I sold it for, and I would look at each item and go, well, I made $2 on this one, I made $8 on this one. I have decided in 2023 to do the cash method. And even though in my head I know how much I've spent on things, when I have an item in my spreadsheet, all I see is what the money was given to me after I paid for shipping. In the end, it's money in and it's money out. You buy 15 things at a thrift store and you spent $40, right? One of those items might sell for $50. You got your money back. Everything else is gravy. Try not to be so obsessed with, I only made 5 on this, I only made 2 on this, I might have lost some money on this. It's kind of it's part of the learning process, right? It's what we're here to do. And you do learn from it. Use your past mistakes and even use your past successes as constant learning tools. So this is what sold from my Clear the Rack, and I just thought I'd make a quick video to show you guys. And I want to now let's do a quote. I tell my daughters to have their voice in this world, and it became clear that I needed to role model that. That's really great. It's Melinda Gates. So you can tell, and we don't have to keep it as just women, but these are my wonderful women quotes. If you're telling people how to do things, the best way is to be a role model of that. And one thing that I like to, and this is completely not reselling related, but we tell our kids that they need to think positively, that they need to have good self-esteem, that they need to think highly of themselves. And then often as mothers, although fathers are guilty too, but as mothers, they hear us criticizing ourselves. Oh, that was stupid. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, and negativity. And that is the thing that I'm really trying to do this year, is to spread positivity. I am culling all the negativity from my life. I can't handle negative. I don't mind realistic, but I'm really trying to get rid of the negative. So think twice what you say about yourself, especially in front of your kids. And I just hope you guys all have a great week and keep on reselling. Bye.